Coronavirus, also known as COVID 19, is a communicable and highly infectious disease. The disease was first identified in China December 2019. The Minister of Health, William Kise, had confirmed the spread of the virus to South Africa on the 5th of March 2020, and then national lockdown was announced on the 23rd of March 2020. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak a public health emergency of international concern on the 30th of January 2020. Later on, the 11th of March 2020, the virus was declared a pandemic. The outbreak escalated uncontrollably and expeditiously, resulting in all people having to adapt. As a response to the fast-spreading virus, governments around the world put lockdown measures in place, making allowance for essential services and restricting non-essential industries. Many places, shopping malls and centers, restaurants were left abandoned for weeks, and lack of trade forcing many to permanently close. Workplaces had to close, and parents needed to work from home. And in cases where employees could not support working from home, many lost their jobs. Another attempt to slow down, decline, or stop the spread of the deadly virus, many countries around the world were forced to close schools. As the virus mutated, new variants emerged, resulting in various waves and extended lockdowns with little to no learning taking place. This led to institutions to seek alternatives, completely altering the traditional education system. Due to COVID-19, schools could not keep children at school. There was a lack of infrastructure in schools to allow safe attendance when the pandemic was not dying down. Alternatives had to be found. For this reason, education policymakers had to find alternatives to face-to-face education, otherwise children would miss out on school for the duration of the pandemic. A solution to this was online learning and the use of online learning platforms in support of teaching. Regardless of it being a more sensible option compared to no schooling, moving to online learning and teaching required a great deal of adjusting. For the most part, online was good, but still uncharted waters for most schools. The sudden yet mandatory shift from the usual in-person instruction to online learning started a rat race when there was a lack of infrastructure to allow online learning. Furthermore, widening the gap between the rich and the poor, considering that the disadvantaged struggled to get their schools online due to a lack of infrastructure and funds. One of the many inequalities exposed by the pandemic is the digital divide. However, in addition to the struggles, the move to digital learning came with innumerable amounts of benefits to both learners and teachers, such as flexibility, efficiency. Online learning provided a numerous amount of tools and was an efficient way for teachers to deliver lessons. Furthermore, allowing them to extend lesson plans beyond textbooks and customize the learning experience according to the various learning styles of learners. Online learning allowed for flexibility since learners could attend classes from any location and learning materials could be accessed at any time. Classes could be recorded and saved or archived and used for future reference. Furthermore, it provided a paperless environment because all textbooks and learning materials was available online, which was beneficial to the environment and more affordable. Today, everyone needs to constantly adapt and evolve to the time. With technology moving at an unimaginable fast pace, it is imperative that we advance too in order to stay up to date, adapt, and remain relevant to these technologies. Technology is an embedded and arguably an integral part of the lives of most people. Therefore, thriving requires people to be skilled and tech savvy. One of the greatest benefits is that COVID-19 has sped up the digital transformation and technologies and forced people all over the world to become technologically informed and advanced and facilitated the development of many technological skills. The skills one acquired pre-COVID could arguably be more rated as outdated. Most move from having very little, if any, basic understanding of technology to becoming confident and effective users thereof. Pre-COVID, most online platforms were just used for certain certification exams. Post-COVID, it has expanded greatly. It is now able to manage and support entire curriculums, support an individual's entire learning experience, and manage other factors such as attendance. COVID-19 triggered new ways of learning around the world, considering that online learning platforms are used to educate students. The new normal in education is the increased and growing use of online learning tools and platforms. Today, digital learning has emerged and as a necessary resource for students, most possibly set to replace the once sacred in-person teaching methods.